Welcome. I'm 26. I'm halfway through my 26th year on Earth. And I don't know who the fuck I am, and that's okay. I'm figuring it out through decision making, through feeling joy again, through working on my inner compass. It's a weird transition space where I am no longer resonating with who I was in my early 20s, but I'm not quite yet who I want to be in my adulthood, and it's confusing. So join me to figure out what the hell is going on in my brain, and maybe you'll learn something about yourself too. But first, let's make some tea. I just don't resonate with who I was in my early 20s anymore. The coping mechanisms, the choices, the energy I have, I just feel like I'm phasing out from who I was then. Not just my early 20s even, I feel like my whole life, because the way that I operated and thought is just so drastically different from now. And I feel like that's a given, right? You get older and you shed your old habits, old ways, old feelings, old thoughts, anything that's no longer serving you. But this feels different, right? My whole life I've had radical, huge death and rebirth. I've always felt like a snake shedding its skin and like having that beautiful like rebirth of what's underneath. And before, the radical death and rebirth that I had experienced was a lot more with a punch. It was like a volcano erupting, and then it was fiery and huge, and it was like a phoenix rising from the ashes. Whereas this death and rebirth, this phasing out, is a lot slower. It's a lot more deep, and it feels more like a slow burn. It feels like a dull, aching type of shedding of my past self. So I'm definitely out of my element. Little author's note here, the more that I sit on it, I feel like this is also different, not only because I've experienced the phoenix and the snake of death and rebirth, but this is more of me as the caterpillar, younger, and now I'm in my cocoon, and I'm just in the process of becoming that butterfly. So that feels a little bit more in tune with what I'm feeling here. I'm used to big epiphanies that change me in an instant. This is something way different. And I have no clue where I'm going. I will see glimpses of my future self peeking through. I will see these little snippets of her, and I will think she's out there, but I'm not quite her yet. And I know that there's a lot of things I need to go through and grow into to be her. And at the same time, I don't see the full picture of her either. So it doesn't really help me with direction. I just know that she is out there, and I will be her one day. I'm just not her yet. And being in this in-between is so uncomfortable for me. Transition periods have always been uncomfortable for me. I feel like I'm always in transition. It's definitely super uncomfortable. And I'm gonna take you guys to go do my makeup while we talk some more. So don't get me too twisted. I understand who I am as a partner, who I am as a friend, as a daughter, as a sister, as a professional person. I feel like I've really grown into those, especially professional, because I've gained such a confidence that I didn't have before, and it's definitely paying off. I definitely back myself a lot more than I used to. I wonder if you guys can hear the ASMR. But me in my core self, in my raw self, where I'm not being anything for anybody, is when I get a little confused. There's multiple reasons why I'm unsure, and one that kind of dates back is my unhealthy or unclear sense of self. My whole life I've chosen people, situations, friendships, relationships that made me around people that did not like me. People who bullied me that were supposed to be my friend. People that, were unkind to me in a relationship, and who brought me a lot of emotional and verbal abuse. And that fucks with your psyche, because you start to think that the things that they are saying are true. Why would anybody want to be my friend? Why would anybody want to be with me? I'm this awful person that you paint me out to be. So why would I think of anything good within myself? I feel like I have worked through a lot of those things. I feel like I truly see and love the negative parts of myself, the shadow parts of myself, and I definitely accept them. But I have trouble accepting the positive parts of myself and seeing those. And I think that's why I am where I am right now, because I'm supposed to learn those things and see those positive things. For me, it's easier to accept the negative because that's what I was told in the situations that I kept choosing and kept repeating. That's the same old story that I told myself growing up because I have an absentee parent. But distinguishing the good parts of myself is like pulling teeth.
Another note here, I just want to say that even though this has been my experience with a lot of people, I want to add that growing up, I had the most amazing family members, my mom, my dad, my brother, my grandparents, who have been rocks and have always lifted me up. It's just that I was never able to receive it in a way that would stick with me. And I have amazing partner and friends and family now. So all is well now. It's just, this is what I dealt with before.
And I actually did EMDR therapy, which is like a famous type of therapy that was, implemented or used for post-war vets. What it really came down to was that I'm not enough, that I feel that I am not enough, not creative enough, not artistic enough, not nice enough, not strong enough, not Pilates enough, not boss enough, not enterprising enough. And the root of it all is just not feeling enough. And accepting your shadow self is only half of it. If you don't accept the positive of you, where is the happiness and self-love? It's not really self-love at the end of the day, is it? It's only half the work. So I thought it was self-love because I said, hey, all these shitty parts of myself, I accept and I know and I see them now and I accept them for what they are. And I respect that I will start working on those things, and I have worked those things, all that stuff. And I called it self-love. It is self-love to a degree, but when you don't pair it with anything positive, when you can't name things that are positive about you or good about you, then what is the point? Like, you only did half of the work. At shadow work, I am a queen. I know what I'm talking about. I'm in my zone. When it comes to fueling positivity in yourself and reflecting on why you're a good person, that you are a good person, that you are perfect as you are and you are imperfectly perfect, all the things, whatever. I suck. So that's why I'm here. I'm learning. So when you are trying to come to understand who you are now in this new phase of life, and you're clouded by who you were and this hazy sense of self, it becomes hard. Another layer to this all is my inability or not wanting to make decisions for myself. This plays a huge part in my transition and why I'm feeling like I'm taking the backseat in my life. It's because I have a very clear history of not deciding things because I'm scared of making the wrong decision, because it's just hard for me. I've always wanted others to make the decision for me, and for time to make the decision for me, for the universe to make the decision for me. I can never tell if this eyebrow matches this one until later. They look okay when I relax my face. And honestly, the reason why I feel that I don't make good decisions is based on stupid reasons, honestly. Just decisions that I made when I was young and learning. That's the reason why, when you really get down to it. But it's definitely developed into a crappy habit. I will ask my mom, what do I do? Tell me what to do. I will ask the universe, just tell me what to do. Just tell me what I should be doing. I will ask astrology. I will ask my spirit guides. I will ask anyone but myself what I should be doing. And that has eroded my internal compass, and it has eroded the confidence in myself to be able to make those decisions. I don't even trust myself to make decisions anymore. I need to hear what I feel in my heart said back to me by somebody else so that I can feel validated in making that decision. If somebody else gives me the green light, I'll go do it. Maybe I think that because they said it's okay, it's not really on me anymore if it goes wrong. I honestly don't know what it is. But now, very recently, I started to reclaim that power in very small ways. I've decided that through making smaller decisions, I can help build up my decision-making internal compass like a muscle. And I can make it stronger and stronger so that when those big things do come, the important things come, I do feel empowered to make a decision and not just rely on everybody else. Just simply deciding what to eat or what to do on my own for a day without consulting anybody else. Just deciding what I'm going to wear that day. Consciously making the decision, okay, I decide to do this because I feel this. And we're starting real small. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I wasn't deciding what I was wearing and eating before. It's just that I wasn't doing it consciously and with intention. So now I really am trying to build my conscious decision making that way, so that when I need to consult my inner self, I can, and it'll be a little bit easier to call on that inner wisdom instead of seeking it elsewhere. Now, a lot of people actually have the inability to make a decision, and it's called analysis paralysis. That's what I like to say. And this beautiful excerpt from The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath describes how I feel to a T, and I'm going to read it for you guys right after I put my lippy on. And this excerpt talks about the paralysis of possibility, basically, and how if you don't make choices, the universe will start making them for you and opportunities will expire. So let's go sit over there. I saw my life branching out before me like the green fig tree in the story. From the tip of every branch, like a fat purple fig, a wonderful future beckoned and winked. One fig was a happy husband and a happy home and children, and another fig was a famous poet, and another fig was a brilliant professor, and another fig was E.G., the amazing editor, and another fig was Europe and Africa and South America, and another fig was Constantine and Socrates and Attila, and a pack of other lovers with queer names and offbeat professions. And another fig was an Olympic lady crew champion, and beyond and above these figs were many more figs I couldn't quite make out. I saw myself sitting in the crotch of this tree, starving to death, just because I couldn't make up my mind which of the figs I would choose. I wanted each and every one of them, but choosing one meant losing all the rest. And as I sat there, unable to decide, the figs began to wrinkle and go black, and one by one, they plopped to the ground at my feet. The metaphor just completely resonates with me. It's the decision fatigue. It's the fear of missed paths out there, what I should be doing, what I could be doing, just wanting to just leave it all to fate. And you will see as she sits there, they start dying off because opportunities expire and time makes decisions for you. It's made me realize that I must choose. I'm forced to choose, not perfectly choose something, but just choose in a way that is present and right for me at the time. I've found myself leaning so much into spirituality that I have neglected the grounding and decision making that there needs to be along with it. I've relied on astrology. Is this the right timing? I've relied on tarot. What do my spirit guides think? I've relied on outside validation in order to make these decisions so that I don't have to make them. And those were helpful when I was making decisions for myself, when I had my sense of self. But now that the rootedness in me, or being rooted in myself, it's hazy now, it's not really there, those tools aren't helping me. They're just allowing me to hide the fact that I still need to decide things, and I'm not. So while I still use those things because I love them and I love calling from the divine and hacking the universe, I also have been making these little decisions on my own and understanding that while the timing may be perfect, it might not be perfect in my heart at that moment. While my spirit guides might steer me in a direction, I can still say, you know what, I'm going to make this other decision, and it might be wrong for me, but at least it will be mine. I let God and the universe steer me back on course if that's what I need, but at least I made my own decision, which is what we are doing here as human beings anyway. This is what we're supposed to do. So I've been trying to do little tiny journals, and I'm collecting some more prompts so that I can start to get back in touch with my inner self and my inner guidance and my inner compass, so that I can know my own heart versus the negativity that I've been plaguing myself with, besides what everybody else wants me to do, besides what I think I should be doing, what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing. The word supposed to is used in my brain all the time. Am I supposed to be doing this? Maybe I'm supposed to be doing something else. I hear something that somebody else does and I said, should I be doing that? Instead of saying, that's nice. And I won't even get into how comparison is the ever-living thief of joy, and how, as somebody who is so scared of making a decision and, sees too many paths that they can't choose, seeing all the things that everybody does online that is authentic for them is way too much for me. My brain can't comprehend seeing something cool and acknowledging it and being like, cool, bye, versus should I be doing that? Maybe I'm doing the wrong thing. Maybe I need to switch gears. Why am I not doing that? They are happy doing that. They are successful doing that. Why am I not doing it? Why are they doing it better than me? And it's making my decision worse. It's clouding my sense of self even more. So I'm reclaiming my own joy, my self-belief, and my inner compass. I'm putting down the phone and comparing myself. I am making these little decisions for myself and building up my muscle, and I am connecting back to what brings me joy, not because I should make something out of it, not because I need to be the best at it, but because I just want to fucking feel joy. That's why. Fuck what anybody else is doing. Fuck what I am supposed to be doing, because I trust that the universe will guide me there as I make my own decisions. So if you're feeling like me, no matter what place you're at in life, whether you're in your mid-20s like me, or you're older or younger, or in your own transition, I invite you to start looking deep and be kind to yourself and start making small decisions for yourself. Find some prompts online to kind of dive into who you are, who your core self is, outside of what you do for everybody else and who you are for everybody else. And stick with me on this journey, because it's raw, it's real, and it's my real fucking life. So be kind as well to me as I learn and grow. And if you have any insight, please share it with me. I would love nothing more than that, especially if you've gone through this and you're on the other side. And I will see you guys next time.